Welcome everybody to True North. I'm excited. Are you excited? Hey, let's stand and sing our theme song. Here we go. Let's trust in Jesus. Come on.
From the mountain high to the valley low, from the things we see to the great unknown, He is our true north, He is our way home. He is our guide in this world that's so wild. Let's trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. Wherever He leads us. Wherever He leads us. Let's trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. You feel alone and you're powerless when you need some hope. Just remember this, He holds the seas, He names the stars, and He's always with you wherever you are. So let's trust in Jesus, trust in Jesus, let's trust in Jesus, just trust in Jesus, wherever He leads us, let's trust in Jesus, trust in Jesus.
Nice job, everybody. You can have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat where you are. Welcome to True North. I am so excited you are here. I have been waiting for you to come. Can anybody tell me, do you know what this is? The globe, the world, that's right. And I don't know if you know where we are on here, but we live right here in Florida, right? Yep. But this week we are going to be in True North, Alaska, which is way up here. My name is Jeremy, and I get to be your guide this week as we explore the True North. You know, if there's a true north, does that mean that there's a false north? Have you ever wondered about that? Well, you know what? There is a magnetic north. Some of you maybe used a compass before, and if not, you're going to use a compass this week. And it points to a place up here that's magnetic north, but sometimes that can change depending on, well, a whole bunch of scientific things. But we know that the true north is way right up at the top of our globe. And it's really pretty close to Alaska. And so we're going to celebrate that. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about how we can trust in Jesus. You know, boys and girls, are there people that you trust? In your crews, take a moment with your crew leaders and just tell them about somebody that you trust. Go. All right, I want you to think about this. Boys and girls, I don't know who you trust. Maybe you trust mom and dad. That would be awesome. Maybe you have a teacher or grandma or grandpa that you trust. Maybe you trust your crew leaders already. That would be amazing. But you know what, boys and girls? I know there's somebody that we can all trust, and his name is Jesus. Can you say Jesus on three? 1, 2, 3. We're learning about that this week, how we can trust Jesus in this wild world. You know, Alaska is a huge place. It's so big that the people live in Alaska only use about 1/20th of the land, maybe not even that much. So can I have orange 10 stand up? Orange 10. I need red 5 to stand up. I need blue 4 to stand up. I need green 12 to stand up, and I need purple 7 to stand up. All right. The people that are standing up right now, it's about 1/20th of our group today. That's how much land is actually used for living in Alaska. That means all of you sitting down represent the wild, open spaces of Alaska that we can explore and learn about this week. All right, crews, you can all sit down. Nice job. Good job. You know, I'm going to have you all stand up here in a moment. And here's what I want you to do. We're going to learn today about wonder. Have you ever wondered about something? You're like, I wonder how that works. I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if this is going to happen. Well, we wonder about some things, and I'm going to share a whole bunch of them. If you have ever wondered about these things, I want you to stand up really quickly and then sit back down. Can you do that? Okay, here we go. Here's the first one. If you've ever wondered, why did God make mosquitoes? Stand up and sit down real quick. Oh, yep. If you ever wondered, why do my parents have so many rules? Okay. If you've ever wondered, when will the world have peace? When will the world have peace? All right. Maybe you've wondered, who made God? Who made God? Maybe you've wondered, why do bad things happen to people? Why do bad things happen? Okay. Maybe, have you ever wondered, what will I be when I grow up? Have you ever wondered, will my dog be in heaven? Or my cat? Or if you have a pet monkey? Have you ever wondered, do I have to really like everybody? Yeah, a lot of crew leaders stood up on that. Do I have to like everybody? Why are people so mean sometimes? Have you ever wondered that? Have you ever wondered, how does God hear us all at the same time? Have you ever wondered how God hears us all at the same time? Wow. Boys and girls, that was kind of chaotic, wasn't it? Everybody's moving and up and down, and the crew leaders are like, all right, now you can sit down. All right, now you don't have to. You know, sometimes, boys and girls, when we wonder, it's a little scary. Sometimes when we wonder about things and we don't have the answers, it makes us feel a little anxious. Sometimes when we wonder about stuff, we're not sure what to do. And today we're learning that when we wonder, we can trust God. And every day we're going to learn a new Bible point. And here's how this is going to work. When I say when we wonder, we can, and you're going to go, trust God, like this, like you're holding onto a rope and you're falling back and God's got the other side of that rope pulling you on. All right, and you're going to shout it as loud as you can. All right, when we wonder, we can trust God. Was that as loud as you can? When we wonder, we can trust God. Yeah. You know, that's pretty awesome. We are going to learn that today, and we'll have that Bible point today. So whenever you hear me or another station leader say, when we wonder, we can, you're going to respond just like that. It's amazing. Every day we're going to have a Bible buddy that's going to help us learn a little bit more about the Bible point. And so here, watch this video about our Bible buddy today.
Hi, I'm Ponder. Nice to meet you. I'm an adorable river otter. I love to have fun. You might find me gliding through the water, or you might find me sunning on the land, which might make you wonder, am I a water animal or a land animal? The answer is both. God made me really good at swimming. He gave me short, webbed feet so I can swim fast, kind of like if you wear flippers. My long, tube-like body helps me glide along easily, and my muscly tail is strong, so it pushes me along. You can probably only hold your breath underwater for a really short time, like less than a minute. I can stay underwater for 8 minutes. When you go swimming, you probably wear goggles if you want to open your eyes underwater. Maybe you wonder how I see underwater. God gave me built-in goggles. Blink your eyes. You have just 2 eyelids, but I have a third one inside the other 2, and it's clear. That means I can keep my 2 eyelids open while swimming, but see through that third one. God also made me great at moving on land. I can run about 15 miles per hour, so I could beat you in a race. And I also like to slide on my belly. It's like I have a built-in sled. I can slide on ice or down a muddy riverbank. Whee! I can slide even faster than I can run. You oughter try this sometime. I don't know if you've heard this, but it can get pretty cold in Alaska. And sliding on ice on your belly might sound chilly to you. Maybe you're wondering, how do I stay warm? Well, it's easy when you've got fur like mine. God made our fur water repellent. That means when we get out of the water, we don't need a towel. Our skin stays nice and dry under all that fur. And it sure is a lot of fur. We river otters have more hair than any other mammal. You humans have about 1,000 hairs per square inch on your head, but otters have 85,000 hairs per square inch. Yep, it's for real. And we actually have not 1, but 2 types of fur. There's a softer fur that keeps us warm underneath that waterproof coat. So don't you worry, I stay nice and toasty. Now, there's one more thing you need to know about river otters. We love to play. I've told you about our belly sliding, but we also like to wrestle, somersault, and even juggle with rocks. Now, some of that play helps us grow closer to our friends or practice hunting for food. But researchers studied us because they wondered, why do we juggle rocks? In the end, they couldn't figure it out. Some think we're just having fun and playing for the sake of it. Others wonder if it helps us get better at picking things like crab meat out of shells. So, it's still kind of a mystery to scientists. Of course, I know why I do it, but I'll leave you wondering. You know, I've noticed something about human kids. You're playful too, and you're also great at wondering and using your imaginations. Play and wondering often go together. Sometimes it's fun to wonder, and sometimes we play so we can explore the world around us. Maybe you wonder things about God, like what does he look like? Or where exactly does he live? Or why did he make mosquitoes? No matter how many things you wonder, you can always turn to Jesus. Even if the world feels wild and doesn't make any sense, Jesus' love is true. You can trust Jesus with all your questions. When we wonder, we can trust Jesus. Well,
When we wonder, we can trust Jesus. Amazing, amazing to know that and to understand and to realize that there are things that the scientists don't even know about river otters, and they're wondering, why do they do these things? And sometimes we do things too, right? We wonder, why do we do these things, or why does this happen? And that's part of all of what we get to explore this week. And today, as we talk about how we wonder, and when we wonder, we can...
That mountain is 14,238 feet tall. That lake averages 68 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. I am 2.6 miles down a hiking path that is 7.1 miles long.
Hi, welcome to True North.
You're not in my book.
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Jeremy.
Scout Rivers, hiker extraordinaire, north knower of the renown.
Wow, well, that's impressive. How long have you been Scout Rivers and hiking?
About 3 hours now.
No, I mean, like, how long have you been this extraordinaire person?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 3 hours now.
3 hours. Okay, so you're pretty much brand new to this whole wilderness thing.
Well, I guess that's true. But I already know so much. You
Okay.
see, my guidebook here
Yeah.
tells me everything I need to know. For instance, that tree over there, it's a quaking aspen tree.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'll never know everything that's in here.
Oh, my goodness, Scout, you're kind of quaking like an aspen tree. What's bothering you?
Well, you know, like, what if I see a bear? Or, like, what happens if the path splits and I don't know which way to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what if?
Okay. Oh,
What
it's
if?
okay.
What if at the end of the path there's no Wi-Fi and I can't watch my favorite show?
Oh boy. Well, some of those are important questions. I mean, some of them are really pretty important.
I know, the Wi-Fi one.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking that. But you know what? It's okay to have questions, and it's okay to learn. You know, we have a guidebook too. It's called the Bible, and it helps us learn and understand more about Jesus, who is somebody that we can trust. And just like your guidebook, it has all sorts of information, and it helps us understand a little bit more about who Jesus is when we wonder.
Wow, those are pretty big books.
Yeah, you know, and the cool thing is that Jesus doesn't, he doesn't expect us to have everything figured out. I've been learning about Jesus for a long time, and I still don't have everything figured out. And it's kind of neat, though. We're learning that today. Our friend Ponder, we just read about that when we wonder, we can. Jesus has given us great leaders and friends who can help answer some of those questions.
So I guess it's okay if I don't know everything about the wilderness or even the Bible?
Yes, if there are true people that like to answer questions, I think it's wilderness explorers and church leaders.
Well, all these things I don't know, all these questions I have,
Yeah?
does that mean I'm a bad hiker?
No, it doesn't, but you might want to do something about your footwear and those socks. I don't know that's really, that might make you a bad hiker. Scout, there's a lot of things that we get to learn about here at VBS. And maybe here at True North, you could come back and learn some things even more as we figure out about all these questions about Jesus.
That sounds like an amazing adventure.
It definitely is. Will you come back again and visit us?
I will, and you know what? I'm going to come with questions. Actually,
Yeah.
I have my first question.
First question. All right. You think we can help her? All right, Scout, what is it?
Do you guys know where I can trade in these slippers for some hiking boots?
Yeah, you might want to check the Outpost store. They might be able to help you. But in the meantime, why don't we stand and sing our next song? Let's trust in Jesus.
It's so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to rest upon his promise, just to know thus saith the Lord. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust
hope you have a great day exploring here at True North. Here's what's going to happen. Blue, you can have a seat where you're at. Purple, you can go out those doors that way to your cruise, to your first stations. Green, after purple's out, you can go that way towards games. Red, you can make your way out the back, head to your first stations. Orange, you can follow red out the back.